All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm Sean from the Gaming and BS Tabletop RPG Podcast, and I have fellow BSers with me this evening to go through Dead Planet session number 4 of Dead Planet. And so we'll go around quick. Just introduce your character, who you are. If you've got a plug, feel free to plug. We'll start with what I'm looking at the top center, Dirtilus.
Dan, a.k.a. Dirtilus, or Dirtilus, a.k.a. Dan. I'm playing Dirt 101 Android.
All right. And then Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm playing Eric Clark, Teamster and Pilot.
And up by Jared.
Hi, this is Jared Rasher. I am playing Dr. Aaron Timms, the scientist in this group, and I just want everyone to feel good. Also, read stustuff on Gnomes too.
Yeah, Jared does.
Any award-winning Gnomes too.
Any award-winning Gnomes too.
Yeah. Mr. Goad.
Well, speaking of any award-winning,
oh boy, I'm in great company. Hoping it'll rub off.
Today I'll be playing Ogda, Space Marine, and Transcendental Meditator, although so far my Space Marining has been more helpful than my Transcendental Meditating. Also, I want to do a quick plug, not this weekend, but the following weekend, Goodman Games has DCC Days going on. So if you check out the twitch.tv/Goodman Games official, I will be doing 2 different fun little events there. We'll be doing a live recording of Spellburn that Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, and then we'll be doing a live Appendix N book club that Sunday at 1:30 p.m. EST.
Excuse me, I'm doing something you should never do when you talk on a podcast or live stream is drink carbonated beverage. And Jeff's reference to any award winning is Spellburn. Jeff
yes,
Spellburn. Host on
the
Spellburn.
Winner of the 2018, I believe, Silver Emmy for Best Podcast.
You believe? Shouldn't that be like tattooed on your arm somewhere or what?
I mean, I do have the medal over there, which I feel like I should be wearing. I should go get it and put it on.
What's that around your neck?
Has all of ours. So.
Silver is the new gold.
Yes. And last but not least, Curtis.
Hi, Curtis here. I'm playing Buford Gupta, Marine with a full bandolier of grenades and itching to use them.
All right, thanks, guys. Jeff would be playing Jackson Dane, Jeff Seifert. Jackson Dane this evening, but he could not make it, so we are one Teamster down. But I think the team can manage. We were going to call the game, but you know, don't want one Teamster down to ruin the fun. So, all right. Last we left off, who remembers? Jared.
We were in space.
Yeah.
It was dark.
Jeff, go.
I think we opened a door.
We got harpooned.
Yeah, we've been lassoed.
Yes. So I believe that a creature alien had started to make its way towards the bridge, and Ogda and Buford dispatched
killed
the alien.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also something lurking again, but
We killed that too, don't worry.
But you also discovered an individual that was on the ship. Right?
Yeah, so they're on the bridge with Timms. Ogda, Buford, and Dirtilus are all down inspecting Harpoon, and Lark is making his way down there.
Oh yeah, we got to the point in the adventure where we split up. This will go great.
Yeah, so I'm somewhere between the bridge and the cryo lab. Timms is on his own with I think we sedated the person.
Oh,
Yeah, you're with the shapeshifter, Tim.
And then, the monster showed up again, apparently, although I think Timms might be the only person aware of it if he happens to be looking at the display in the on the bridge.
Yeah. Then something's rocked the ship. And upon further investigation, it appears that there's a huge giant type of harpoon head that has breached the hull and is rocking the ship side to side while the crew of the Profit Margin aboard the derelict ship Alexis assesses the situation. The Profit Margin is nowhere to be seen. That's the origin. This is the crew from there, or at least some of the crew. And so, yeah. What do you guys do? So the ship, you could feel it move. Ships move. I mean, I suppose with artificial gravity, that you will feel the ship move underneath your feet as it starts to make its way in a particular direction, which if you look out any porthole, you'll notice that it's being pulled towards the moon that's in orbit above the planet.
So I believe Ogden and I were headed. We're in the cargo bay trying to see if there are any the enhanced strength lifter units.
Oh yeah. Oh, also, is this a round moon or a crescent moon?
Very valid question, Jeff Goad. It is a crescent moon probably at the moment, but could be a full moon any day now.
But yeah,
on the pointy ends.
We were gonna go get the little like robot things, the Voltron cargo movers.
Yes, the Voltron cargo movers.
Yeah.
Some
cool. I want the sword.
Might have reference.
Do they hook up like Voltron?
Yeah, Gary, what 2 feet?
It would have to be car Voltron because I doubt the load lifters are shaped like lions.
Say, someone remind me. Did we actually get around to ejecting the funky sculpture?
No, I don't think so.
Right,
I had
ready
mentioned that if you guys get those cargo lifters moving, that might be a good project.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because
getting untethered.
We determined the explosives weren't enough to blow out the part of the ship that got harpooned. So that's why our teamster, your name blanked on me. I'm sorry.
Eric Lark.
Yes, Lark. That's why Lark is going down there with the cutter to try and
cut it.
Yeah.
Yes, our fearless leader who told the captain, "Please don't leave me with these people."
I have no idea how I got elected.
And I derailed the glorious plan of having the statue shot out into space when I asked what our air supply was like.
Yeah, that was a good call.
I was going to say, you guys did vacuum the cargo.
I don't think we did we?
Or where you were attempting to, I think. No?
We were going to until Ogda mentioned that as living creatures, we need air.
Yeah.
I would have expected that objection from the doctor, but I'm glad someone mentioned it.
Well, I knew we needed air. I just didn't do the math on how much.
You've had a lot on your mind. It's fine.
Besides, according to you, the air is contaminated.
It is partially
by a never proven but yet suspected bacterial agent.
I didn't give the air a second thought.
Air's overrated, Dirtless.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So our problem that we're facing right now, do we want to try to figure out a way to explode this harpoon off? Do we want to try to like run our jets and try to
We didn't get the ship running yet, did we?
We probably had thrusters, but I was heading down with a laser cutter to cut us loose.
I thought we were getting the cargo things so we could try and pry that thing out.
I think you guys just wanted to play with the cargo lifters, and I'm all in favor of that.
But Lark, you had the laser cutter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why you were coming to join us.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Alone.
That's why I'm all alone with the patient up on the bridge.
It seemed like a good plan when we thought the monster was dead.
there probably is.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
Lark is en route to the hole in the breach of what would be the Alexis. Agda and Buford are heading towards the cargo hold to get a lifter skeleton
Lift
thingy.
skeleton, yep.
Yeah.
I believe we're already in the cargo hold.
You were in the cryo chamber. You might have gone across the corridor because aren't they like
okay.
right across from each other?
They are.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're right.
And then Dr. Timms.
Why am I in almost every cutscene?
Dr. Tim's medicine woman.
Dr. Tim's medicine woman.
I think I left. Yeah, we left him alone.
Oh,
Yes,
that
I'm
was a
on-
mistake.
I'm on the bridge with our person that we found alive,
Okay.
which I then sedated. So
Yes.
Found alive, even though they didn't show up on any of the numerous scans we've done.
yeah, but we also had 2 androids that we all saw and yet weren't there. So
I don't know. I still got it. I still got the head in my bag. I think.
There's evidence.
You mean the melon?
The melon. Dirtless, what are you doing?
I'm pretty sure I was with Ogden and Buford when I went down to the cargo bay and everything with him,
Okay.
just scouting it out.
So you guys continue to do your thing. Lark, you arrive at the breach. Are you wearing a vac suit?
I am.
Okay, good move.
Yes.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of pressure loss in this particular area of the ship. And so as you open the airlock to the cryo chamber, because that's where it's essentially pierced out the outer hull, the vacuum, as a matter of fact, well, nobody would probably feel it necessarily throughout the ship, because it's going to be sucking through the hull as you open the hull door or the access door to the cryo chamber. I imagine you're going to close that behind you. It's going to, because it's all manual, it's going to take quite a bit of strength. It's not impossible.
Okay.
So we're going to want to strength check that sucker.
All right. And the Marines aren't around for extra muscle?
Well, that's so Agda and Buford, because you're going to the cargo bay and there is an access door to the cargo bay literally across the corridor. You can assist Lark there as he's going to go into the cryo chamber. It's kind of up to you whether you're predisposed with getting into the cargo bay or not, but I'll allow you to help him out.
I mean, I can give it a shot first, but Lark's not a very strong man.
Heavy
Buford
lifting
is,
is not my
And
specialty.
I rolled a 93, which is certainly a failure.
Ooh,
All right, step aside, Lark. Ogda's got this.
Arms are tired from carrying this laser cutter.
And I rolled an 88, which is a crit fail.
Oh,
wow, wow. Okay, so opening the door is not a problem. It's closing the door, and closing the door is there because of the vacuum is just tougher to kind of move. And so as Lark and Agda are messing with the door, it is jammed. And what occurs is that all the life support through the corridor is basically, all the oxygen is all sucked out into the vacuum of space through the cracks in the hull that this giant looking harpoon has basically pierced and made its way into the side of the ship. So it's still going. Now, the nice thing is that everything else is kind of sealed off, right? All the other doors are sealed off. So you're not vacuuming the entire ship. But your life support has gone down from, I think you had, maybe an hour on the ship at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we had an hour in our suits, and I'm not
Yes.
sure what else.
I think it was an hour in the suits, and then I think at least 3 or 6 hours on the ship or something.
Something like that, depending.
I don't remember.
Dirt, do me a favor. Give me a 1d6 roll.
1d6.
What
I
system
didn't
is
bring
this?
any 6.
Oh yeah,
You
this
give me.
doesn't exist, Mothership.
Yeah, that's my bad. 1d10.
He saw Shadow Run on the shelf and he thought D6.
4.
You rolled
Yeah,
a
I'm
4 on a
D6-less.
1d10.
No, on a
Seven.
1d6. I
Roll
found my
1d10.
1d6.
I want to obey the rules because I'm under scrutiny here.
I'm like, I didn't bring any 6s to the table. They're back there.
It's an OSR game, but apparently it's only d10s. Therefore, I cannot go outside the realm of that.
Sean McCoy would be furious.
Yes. Sorry, Sean.
1. I rolled a 1.
Seems
one?
such
Did you
an
really
angry
roll a
person.
1?
I rolled a 1.
Did you rolled a
I
1,
rolled a-
Dirtless?
I rolled a 1.
All right.
Yeah.
Ones are
There's 9
good,
other
right?
numbers you could have rolled.
Yeah. Well, we could call it a 10 because I rolled my 10s, dice. But I'm pretty sure that's 1.
Yeah,
So is that how many hours of air is on the ship?
it is.
So we've
1
got
hour of
1
air.
hour in our suits and 1 hour on the ship.
Okay.
Whatever might have happened, whatever readings that you guys had, if you thought you had longer, it has become quite apparent that has diminished, and that the accurate reading after the vacuum and the door has opened up and couldn't close quick enough is an hour of air.
I'm setting my timer so I can warn everybody when their hour's up and I need to turn on the vac suits.
Good plan. Ogda and Buford, if you're going to be going over to the cargo bay, try to find some more vac suits. We could use that air.
By the way, I'm wearing a vac suit.
Yeah, if you're wearing a
Cool.
vac suit, air not a problem until it runs out of your vac suit.
Right. I'm going to try to fix this door so we're not losing any more air as people are moving around.
Okay.
I do have, hand welder, crowbar, and skill in mechanical repair.
Okay. Sure. Give me mechanical repair roll.
Okay. With intelligence, speed, what? Probably intellect. I'm
Yes.
guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. 54. Just missed it.
Just missed it.
I needed a 47. so-
Okay. So you're assessing it, and you're the distraction from the whooshing of the vacuum out into space is just too distracting. You're not able to focus in on what necessarily is the problem, and is kind of a mystery. It's jammed, messed up somehow.
All right. Well, we'll just ride off this level then. And I will get to work on trying to cut us free from the harpoon.
Okay.
Say, Ogda ma'am. Okay, we just heard that we've only got a couple hours left of oxygen. Why are we trying to cut ourselves free? Why don't we just go ahead and follow the chain up to the airship, board and storm? They must have air.
So, so you think
If we cut ourselves loose, we're basically going to die in 2 hours anyway.
Buford, I don't mean to interrupt you, but isn't the chain coming from the moon?
I believe so. I don't think there's another ship.
Bummer.
Hey,
Well, we
can
could storm the
also,
moon.
once we're not being tugged to who
I was
knows
gonna say, I believe
where.
we're already storming the moon against our will at this moment.
Yeah, we can try repairing at least one of the life support systems.
And also, if we can find any fresh oxygen tanks in the cargo hold, those are good for 4 hours under stressful circumstances. So, shall we step into the cargo hold?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, let's do that. We're looking for oxygen tanks. We're looking to destroy some kind of a kinky sculpture, and we want to find some Voltron suits.
So we're going in the same cargo hold that statue's in, correct?
Yeah, the kinky statue.
That's the one.
All right, I'm all for it.
So, I had mentioned when they left, I remember that I was asking if I could monitor their vitals from up here.
Sure.
Did I notice the amount of air that just dropped on the ship?
Yes, you would if you're looking at any of the ship systems that are somewhat working in half-ass order. You would notice that oxygen levels have gone down in that area of the ships quite significantly.
So I'm going to hit the comm and go, hey, Lark, do you know that we just lost a significant portion of air?
I had a notion.
Okay, just making sure that this is all part of the plan.
It wasn't, but we'll adapt.
Okay, that's cool.
Ogda and Buford are looking for more air canisters.
That's good. That's good.
Now,
Yeah.
Dr. Timms, you realize that if Ogda and Buford end up going into the cargo hold, that'll end up going into, like, it'll basically drain the oxygen out of the cargo hold out into the corridor that's got less and actually has a conduit right to the outside of space.
So they are prepared to close the doors really quick, right?
I'm not
I'll
sure.
remind them.
I mean, we'll close the doors. I think with a vacuum really quick isn't going to make much of a difference. I think all the air is going to be sucked out or it won't.
Can we weld this door shut?
Before
How
we
big is the crack? How big is that crack on the door? That's
Oh, for the cryo chamber?
yeah.
How big is the crack?
The door is just fine. It was closing the door that was the problem, and they couldn't get the door closed, and then therefore somehow Ogda was wrenching on it and got it jammed somehow.
So is it all the way open?
So the door is
like,
it's halfway open. It's halfway.
So here's the thing about the cryo chamber. I need to be in it in order to cut us free, and I would like to be able to get out of it again. So I would rather not weld it because otherwise I need to go outside the ship and over to the airlock and come in, and I'm not keen on that idea unless there's no other option.
Well, just make sure you carry your mag boots with you. Just in case.
They are on my feet.
So Dirt, you're down there, right? With Ogda
Yes.
and Buford. Yeah. So Timms is alone. Excellent.
Yep. How's my patient doing?
Your patient is still relatively unconscious, but
Aren't we all?
That was most of my college years.
are you attempting to do anything for your patient?
I'm just making sure that their vitals aren't, like slipping into the catatonic state and they're just unconscious.
Sure.
Maybe keep them unconscious.
Well, also my backup plan is if I need to, I'm going to hit them with a stim real quick to wake them up if we have to run from something.
Sure.
So
All
they
right,
might get a heck of a wake up.
Ogda, Buford, Dirt, what are you guys doing? I know you were trying to get into the cargo bay. Is that still the same plan?
Yep, we're walking in.
All right. So you are going to open the cargo bay door, and you open it up as the air sucks out of the room, and out through the cryo chamber and out into space. Whoosh. And because it's not right up against the hull of the ship, you manage to, well, actually give me a strength check to close the door behind you with an advantage.
Right here.
I fail, even with the advantage.
Man, what is up with Ogda tonight?
Same here.
All right.
I failed every roll so far.
On an advantage too, Buford?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not built for strength.
Does Ogda still have her boosted stats noted? Okay. Just making sure.
Wow. What is your strength right now, Ogda?
Well, it's 39 normally, and I get a plus 10 because of this booster. But also, I have a -5 on here. Did I get a -5 from some monster attack, or where's my strength 5?
That might have been the shock from the monster, from the
Okay.
alien. Yeah, I think you took a psychic shudder to your.
So currently, it's a 44.
Okay, I thought like because of the boost, you might be at something crazy. Dirt, they're going through into the cargo hold, but the door seems to be they can't close the door quick enough.
I'm not really built for this, but I'm gonna attempt to close it behind them,
Okay,
and I'll stay on the other side.
you have advantage.
And I failed
Wow.
with advantage.
Okay,
Well, my strength's only 22.
fair. So, all right. So another door is hard to close for the cargo bay, and therefore more oxygen leaves the ship. But you are in the cargo bay. And Tim's, you see the settings. You got these like red or green, red, yellow, green like indicator bars.
And you're watching them slide.
Shows the oxygen levels of different parts of the ship, and you see one go down all the way, and then another one go out of the cargo hold.
Hey, Lark, what are you doing down there? Burning a lot of air here.
I would like to. Oh, sorry.
Just doing my best, Tim. So I'm trying to get us untethered, and then I'm going to try to seal off any, gaping holes in the hull.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it hasn't affected your vitals yet.
I'm already at the red line, man.
Blood pressure's a little high, but you've been that way for a while.
Jeff, Goad, or Agda, what were you going to do? Not cargo hold.
I'm going to go ahead and climb on into one of those Voltron suits.
All right.
Buford, are you doing the same, or are you kind of hanging out?
Yep, not bomb. Getting in one too. And is that weird ass sculpture still here floating around?
Yeah, actually, it's not floating around. It's still where it was positioned with the strange, with the figures, the people holding it, kind of bowed down to the
I
side.
thought the people disappeared.
Oh,
When we blew it up.
well, yes, that would be the
Or is
case.
that true? Yeah.
Yeah, when you blew it up,
That's
yes,
right. They didn't
that's
just.
true.
They disappeared.
They disappeared. Yes.
Yeah, I don't recall if the cargo hold, like the bridge, was suddenly immaculate after
No.
we were away from it.
No,
Okay,
it's not. It's not.
so there might be some bits of people around still.
Nope. That it is after you guys had taken your toll in that cargo bay in the same condition as you left it before. So yep, you got on the exoskeletons.
Okay, should we open the door and shove this thing out?
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and start grabbing some armloads of oxygen tanks if there are any.
Okay. Yes.
And then Buford, you want to grab the sexy sculpture?
Yep.
There are 3 oxygen tanks.
Cool.
And I'm also thinking that the Cairo chamber might be a good place to search for oxygen tanks if they haven't all escaped yet.
No,
There's a
there
big
hasn't.
hole in the side.
There's a hole in the side, but because it's plugged, it's letting things kind of. I mean, it's more air and decompression than anything. So there is things that have flown up against it that's probably helped seal it a little bit. So they're not. There goes an oxygen tank through the hole. It's kind of like, imagine a ship's literally nautical ship's anchor stuck into the side of this ship.
All right.
So as I'm cutting that away, I want to try to leave as much of it in place as possible to act as sort of a seal that I can weld just
Makes sense.
when we get back to that.
Sure.
And I'll be assisting him since I walked back into the Cairo chamber looking for oxygen.
Excellent. So Dirt and Lark are firing up the laser torch and going to town. Agda and Buford in the cargo hold. You're in the skeletons. You grab the 3 oxygen tanks, set them aside for safety, and you are attempting to, Buford?
I'm going to try and move this thing. Can there clamp on?
The statue?
Yep.
Okay. So you clamp onto the statue, grab it, and you're trying to remove it. And it doesn't seem to be I mean, it's not a cargo box where you're like grabbing it and just lifting it. For some reason, it's not giving. And it seems to be bolted or connected to the ship floor in some way. And your exoskeleton is, you could hear the grinding and the motors really give quite a bit of effort. And you're twisting and turning, and it still seems to be stuck in place.
Oh, this thing seems like it's bolted to the floor.
I'll go ahead and walk over and start to try to push on it with my Voltron arms.
Okay. And
To
so
confirm.
you both are kind of tag teaming this statue thing.
Yes, we are both tag teaming the sexy sculpture.
All right. So let's see. Give me. Well, let me double check something quick. All right. Do you guys have heavy machinery skill by any chance?
Nope.
No.
unless it's part of military training.
No.
I have theology.
No, on both accounts, you two. Nice try, though. That military training, man. You guys are going to get it to work for something. I guarantee it. You Marines. So you are attempting to go ahead and wrench on this thing. You... can you use something unskilled?
Yeah, I think it's just your base stat, whatever
The base
applies.
stat, right? So heavy machinery. Not quite sure what the base stat is for heavy machinery.
Situational, I think, in all cases.
Yeah. So give me an intellect check.
Oh,
And the reason is I want, and the rationale behind it, and I'm open to discussion, is to ensure that you are not operating this piece of equipment on something where you fail to understand its limitations, where you're getting the feel. So a heavy machine operator could understand like the leverage and how much pressure they're putting on something before the machine could malfunction or cease to operate.
There's a little plate that tells you how much weight it can lift.
That's right.
I actually succeeded, surprisingly. I got a 09.
Excellent. Buford?
also did I. 25 on the button.
Oh, look at this. Fortune is turning around.
Turns out we should have been using our smarts this whole time.
Marines, smarts, you know.
Maybe we should be the doctors from now on.
Hey, you Marines out there, no offense, you know, fellow veterans. I'm Army, so I got to give you some grief. All right. So you're going and you're moving and you're attempting to move this thing, and it seems to give just a little bit right before one of like let's see, odds it's Agda, evens it's Buford. Buford, as right as you're about to tip over from trying to leverage this thing and lose your balance within the exoskeleton, and Agda comes over and shifts it in a particular direction and rights you up. And then it does move in one direction very, very slowly, as if something is keeping it in place, but there is some give. You're not quite sure, almost like the elastic, but not with the rubber bandy elastic type. So something seems to be keeping it in place. Almost, and then as it moves, you can kind of see some residual that is stuck to the ground or on the floor of the ship of where it was left. Black tentacle looking streams going from the floor to the base of the statue.
Oh, that's just gross.
As you're doing that, everybody feels the ship start to pick up. I don't know if you would feel it pick up speed, but it is tilted and moving towards the moon, and you can feel the velocity of the ship start to pick up at quite a bit a pace. It seems as though without any type of engines or resistance, the ship seems to be moving relatively easy through the deadness of space towards the surface of the moon. Agda?
I said I'm resisting.
You're resisting. Excellent. Let me write that down.
Right, doesn't TM affect physical laws too?
Buford, Curtis, you are not allowed to use any of your known player scientist mockery here.
You consider TM scientific? What?
This is 80s movie science, 80s sci-fi movie science.
That's right.
Not actual physicist science.
Yeah, this. Because if that were the case, what are we doing here? Like, seriously.
Becoming murder hobos.
That's true.
So I hit the comms. Lark, I think the whatever is fishing for us is reeling us in. Can we cut the line?
On it, Tim's. You okay, buddy?
We're all good. Everybody's vitals are good.
All right. Let me know if that changes.
Do we sense that in our Voltron suits, we would be able to operate the laser cutter?
Through your exoskeletons? Through the the things, the hydraulic machine thing you're piloting?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just wants to be a
Of
cyborg.
course.
Sweet.
So you're going to robot your butts out back into the cryo chamber?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Do
Unless
they
you
fit?
want to do something else?
I would try cutting this thing apart with the cutters, but I don't know if.
Well, the cutters are
No, we tried that once, didn't we?
I think Dane tried using like a little like hand welder thing. I don't know if he used a full on laser cutter, but maybe.
He did use a hand cutter on it and a hand torch or something along those lines, and it didn't seem to do anything. But it was a hand torch, nothing too elaborate.
So, Ogdeman, what do you want to do?
Let's go ahead and clunk on over to cryo and see if we can fix this problem before it's too late.
Okay. Too bad we can't shove that thing into the hull.
Exactly.
As it's being reeled, there's a jolt through the ship that kind of shifts things a little bit. Agda and Buford, I'm going to need a not a piloting role, probably something that has to do with, I don't know, heavy machinery.
Could it be speed? Because we're using like our dexterity to like...
Speed will work, sir. Or ma'am, I should say.
Success. I rolled a 13. Lucky 13.
Nope. Buford, you fall over in your exoskeleton. Not major big deal. All systems are fine, but it's going to take you a little bit to get to the other room and probably stand up in this thing, which is kind of a pain in the ass once you're down. Agda, you feel the shift within the exoskeleton. Know it's going in a particular direction. You stick out your foot and keep your footing in place without any problem.
I feel like I'm doing so well that I might as well just give myself heavy machinery at this point, right?
You should. Like, you should just, I mean, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that warden that says no to everything.
No, I'm not doing that. But okay, but great. So now I'm over in cryo.
You are. Lark, Agda comes in through the door. She moves the door aside.
Want me to cut that out? Dr. Ogda's here to remove a problem. Doing some spaceship surgery.
Okay. All right, so Sean, as I'm cutting this, would it be possible for me to have Ogda hold things in place, move them in some way that would help?
Yeah. Well, You can always try whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm more wondering about like if the physical configuration of objects would allow for, because I want this for Ogda, really.
Yeah. So there are, cryopods in the room. It is relatively disheveled, but it is going to be a little cramped in there, Ogda, as your big exoskeleton makes its way in there. You could feasibly stomp on a cryopod and get your footing there and smash it. You are far from grace in this thing. Lark, do you have heavy machinery or mechanic? You have mechanical engineering.
I have mechanical repair, which I was hoping would work for cutting us loose from this thing.
Sure, and that's fine. The help that Ogda could offer is a risky one, simply because, you're not sure. Ogda could be very skilled, or she could be a complete mess.
Lark, if you want me in there, I can help you out. I can maybe tear some stuff apart while you're unwelding.
I tell you what, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to seal this hole in here once I cut us loose. So if you can do anything to try to get that door closed,
all right,
that would be very helpful.
Right now?
Well, yes. Hopefully, don't break it too bad, because I want to be able to get out again.
If it's possible, I would like to, with one arm, reach out behind and just pinch the back of Lark's shirt in case he goes flying of his back suit. In case he goes flying out into space, I've got a hold on him, and with my other super powerful Voltron arm, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the door to get it closed. How does that sound?
Seems very pragmatic.
Between that and my mag boots, I feel so secure right now. I feel very safe.
I'm gonna step out of the room and check the hallway while the door's being worked on. I'm gonna and check my sensors. Maybe put a video up on the wall.
Okay.
Is what's happening on the wall what's really what we see around us?
Yeah. Just recording. Whatever I see, it's projected. Yeah.
Miss Dr. Timms. Yeah. You hear something. It seems to be coming through the ventilation. At least you think it is. Scratches. Seems like something scratching on metal, sharp objects. Sounds similar to what you may have heard earlier.
I am going to carefully inch my way over the table with my patient. And I am going to slide the glove off of the vac suit just slightly so that I can slap it back in place. And I'm trying to do this without making a lot of noise so as to draw the attention to something that might be crawling around in the crawl space. And I have the stem right next to their skin, but not quite applying it yet, waiting to hear anything else happen.
Okay.
Because I'm going to need to wake them up and tell them to run in a direction as soon as I hit them with this.
And then you don't hear anything. It seems silent. And then you hear something coming from the corridor outside the door. You distinctly hear the chink, chink, shh, shh. One of the monitors within inside the command room, you can see that there's one of those alien creature things in the corridor leading up to the bridge.
Hey, Lark.
Yes,
Dope was a cat.
And it stops in the corridor and it's looking around.
Do we have an extra Marine you can send back to me?
What's up, friend?
I think there is an unidentified biological creature in the hallway.
Shit. Okay.
So for those on the stream who haven't yet heard what these alien things look like, do you want to let them know?
Oh, I suppose I could do that.
So they're
Maybe
not
not unidentified. We know what it is.
Yeah, you guys do.
We've seen
Did
them
you
before.
actually
It's
get?
trouble.
The three people in the chat probably don't know.
Wait, did Tim's actually get a visual on it?
He did on a monitor.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's an emaciated looking, leathery and tall. It's a pretty decent height, and there's this series of grasping claws that protrudes from its torso to their face, and then something that symbolizes maybe a mouth of some kind of slithering and creepy and crawly. Yeah.
So basically, it's like a black and white and Coulter.
Yes. Right. Exactly.
See, I was going to go for like if Pumpkinhead and a xenomorph had a child, but I think that's actually the same thing that you just said.
Nice. Okay, so
This brought to you from the Lincoln Project.
I'll look over at Ogda. I'm not sure if we're all picking up comms or if that was direct to me. Like, either you and or Buford should probably get up to the bridge and check on Tim's. I think whatever that was we saw before is back.
Roger that. Do you want me to stay here and hold these things in place? Or you want me to go and take care of this?
Should probably go take care of Tim's. I'll keep cutting and hopefully get us loose.
All right. I'll climb out of the Voltron suit and grab Buford and see if he wants to join me.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll give up on trying to get the thing up and just get out of the suit.
We're going to start booking
He's
it.
still in there rolling around on the ground. In
Spending the
that
last
go
10 minutes
spinning around.
We're going to use our military training to go
Yep.
down hallways, turn corners.
Reach every door.
Yes.
And using our +5 to the greatest advantage.
Of course.
Can they roll a few times?
Yeah. Can we roll some things? Yeah. I got a 67.
I was just picturing them crawling like Garth in Wayne's World.
Ow, ow.
Ow.
I landed on my keys.
All right.
I re-enter the Cairo chamber and attempt to work on the door while keeping an eye on Lark.
An
Okay.
eye out for me or on me?
I don't know yet.
So, Dirt, you stay there.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
staying with Lark. I'm going to work on the door, see if there's anything I can do.
Okay.
Looking for Dirt to like seal the door shut on Lark.
I'm working on the other side of the door, so I am in the hallway.
Sorry. Sorry, Lark. It was the only way.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Ogda and Buford make their way to the bridge out of their exoskeleton. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
We're ready to shoot whatever we see.
Okay. So as you make your way to the bridge, you two and Dirt hear something coming through the ventilation. There's the sounds to come through the ventilation as well. Obviously, it's going to be relative to where you are. So Ogden and Buford going down the corridor towards the front of the ship, towards the lift in order to get up to the bridge. You hear something behind you. Dirt, you would hear something more in front of you. So it seems to be something that may reside between you two parties. You hear the screeching screech.
I would like to turn around, and if I see a shape there, I will fire.
You don't see anything.
I'm back into the room while still looking at the door, and I'm like, Lark, something's out there. Be careful. And I'll grab my harpoon at the ready.
Wait,
Well-
you have a harpoon?
That's not called a harpoon. What is it called? It's
A
called
rigging gun?
Rigging gun. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
it looks like a harpoon.
Oh, since
No.
Dirtless is out of the way, I'm just go ahead and spray the air with some bullets.
Buford, you're just gonna unleash.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it sounds like it's in between us and we can't see it, but we can hear it, well, let's give it a go.
All right. Fair enough.
And,
Give me some shooty checks.
oh,
Blind shooty
combat.
Blind shooty.
Oh, no, I don't have that, do I? Does military cover shooting?
Yeah, military training leads into firearms and things like that.
Okay, so that's plus 10.
Military training
No.
prevents you from like having to reload your machine gun and things of that nature, if I'm not mistaken.
Lots
Right.
of lead.
Okay.
Probably more sound than fury though. So
It's all right. So you unleash a few rounds
yeah,
kind of
missed.
up into the ceiling, into the walls,
we're straight on.
or straight on, making sure dirt's not in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, once he saw me leave, right?
Yeah, once I saw. Once
I
I
know.
saw it was
Dirt is you're like ducking into the room, you hear bullets flying by and down the corridor.
They must see something. Lark, there's something out there.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, of course. Something down the hallway they were shooting at.
Is Ogda taking care of it?
I'm not going to stick my head out.
I'm gonna keep cutting.
Sounds more like Buford shooting.
What are you shooting?
Random and indiscriminate.
What are you using, Buford, to shoot?
my SMG.
Okay, so yeah, you hear submachine gun.
And once Buford stops, do we still hear the scratching?
No.
You did it, Buford.
All right, mission accomplished. Onward.
Let's go get Tim's.
Ship is still starting to pick up speed as it makes its way towards the moon.
How's Lark's project going?
That's a good question, Lark. You were going to use what mechanical repair to?
I'm assuming mechanical repair. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a mechanical repair check to see what the progress is of your.
Intellect's in that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 47. Fucking hell. I rolled an 88.
Hey.
Oh!
For those of you not familiar with the rules of Mothership, Mr. Lark, would you like to explain what you just did?
So I failed the roll, and it was doubles and two of the same digit, which means it's a critical failure, and things are about to get much worse.
Yeah. So, okay. Great. The progress that you were making, cutting in a particular piece or in a direction, you're like, hey, I've got this. And you're looking at it, if I can just cut this line right through here, and you're going through and you're going through, and then you realize that you went and kept it in one spot for way too long, and it pierces through that piece into another one, and then it just kind of twists a little bit in place, but it's still attached, it's just twisted. And so now it looks like the time that you've spent torching it has just gone out the window. Basically having to start over from the beginning.
So not to give you any ideas or anything, but there are only 6 charges in one of these laser cutters, and after they're gone, it takes like an entire day to recharge. So I don't know how many I would have used. By
Well,
now.
we'll say you've used at least one. Maybe, I mean, critical failure, I could have just, maybe have you used 2.
Okay.
That's not like them.
1 hour to recharge via ship's generator, or 6 hours via solar power. I don't think that's an option right now.
Now with the
Okay.
moon coming up this fast.
So sorry,
That's
how
true.
many charges did I use?
2.
2. Okay. 4 remaining. All right, I'm going to swear a lot and try to do what I can to cut it.
Dirt, you hear frustration come from Lark's area.
I
From his-
probably taught you some new vocabulary.
From his comms.
Lark, calm down. You're no good to us when you're this stressed out. but I think there's something out here, so just be careful.
Hey, Lark. Your heart rate
Yes.
went up. You okay?
I probably sound like the dad from A Christmas Story. You know, fixing the furnace.
All right.
I just kicked over the hubcap. Damn it.
So we'll say that you were wrenching on that thing for about 2 rounds.
Okay.
Or turns, I guess, in this system. All right. Okay. Tim's, what are you doing? It seems quiet. You look on the monitor, there's nothing there.
I'm going to call Agda this time. Hey, Agda.
Dial a
Captain.
friend.
Agda.
Coming to get you. What's up?
Is everything okay? I heard gunshots.
What do you mean it's near it? Where?
Yeah, I think we got it. It's gone.
Is there a body?
No.
You could hear one deck down.
You didn't get it.
I guess
Well, we're coming to get you. So we continue onward.
Okay.
Coming to get Tim's.
Seems like
Yeah.
everything's relatively quiet considering. Agda, Buford, you make your way up the lift and
Yeah.
you come out to the corridor where it leads to the bridge.
Okay.
It's clear.
No scratchy scratches.
You see some residual marks in the flooring leading to.
We don't hear scratchy scratches.
But you don't hear anything. Plus, there's the remains of the prior thing that you had
Mhm.
attacked previously. I don't
Tim,
think
I
you
thought-
moved it.
Hey, Dr. Tim, so I thought you said you had a visual on this thing.
So I'm still like reaching over to hit the console because I have the stim like ready to go on the patient. I did, but then it's gone.
So you could see on the monitor on the same camera, you see Agda and Buford in the hallway.
And we're sort of waving at the camera. Yeah, a lot of action here.
Okay. Don't let it sneak up on you.
Now, Agda and Buford, you guys went through the parallel air shaft and came out on the last beastie, correct?
Mhm.
You guys patched that up?
We did not.
Just curious. But that's still there. I'm just saying that, if the access panel is off and you still could get through that if you wanted to, or you could
sure.
obviously go through the bulkhead door.
You could get through that. Someone else could get through that.
Grenade,
it's open.
grenade,
like,
a grenade could go through that.
Also true. Here, Buford, if you want me to, I can go ahead and hold. I can hold you up. Can peek in. Throw a grenade at it if you see it.
Yeah, sure, why not? Sounds like a good plan. My intellect is my dump stat, so.
So you guys going into the bridge, or?
What are you playing?
No, I'm going to take a look in the vent, do the old.
They just look like dots on the screen.
Well, the vent was more kind of floor level when you guys were coming
Oh,
through.
I thought you guys walked through it.
Yeah, you kind of crawled through the vent and then came
Okay.
out like at floor level and turned around.
Flash a
and
light down there. Anything?
Yeah, put the flashlight down there.
Yeah.
It's like dark.
Any scratches or anything?
You don't see any scratches in there. No, nothing around the entryway.
red balloon.
Looks as you peer through there and you probe your little light source through there, it kind of reflects off the top, the bottom, and the side as you kind of move it a little bit. And it seems to be clear.
Seems to be clear. No sign of anything here.
All right, let's go grab Tim's.
James, are you sure you saw something?
Yes.
Why are you whispering? We're just the other side of the door.
I opened the door.
Door opens.
And I'm stretched across from the table over to the comm unit when they walk in.
Get a hold of yourself, man.
Yeah, it looks like you're stretched a bit thin there.
Hey, Lark, he's fine. Should we come back down?
Yeah, I mean, does he have a vac suit? Did you guys got oxygen for him, right?
Well, we have oxygen tanks, but do you have a vac suit?
Yeah, I did.
He put one on last time.
Okay, then yeah. We've got oxygen tanks.
And so does the unconscious form there.
Yeah, I mean, we might want to stay in the same place, but there's not much atmosphere down here.
So you want us to stay up here, or you want us to come down to you?
Is Dirt still down here with me?
Yeah, I'm down
Dirt
there.
is
I'm
there with moral
watching the
support.
door.
Yeah.
What's the status of my cutting work right now?
So you're
If I'm close to done, I want to go back up to them when I am. But if it's going to take a while, I might.
it's going to take a while yet. Yeah. Tim's, you're up on the bridge. Are you monitoring what's going on system wise? I don't know if you have the
I was mainly just looking at like vitals and oxygen, so life support and vitals. So if it was something of that nature, I probably would notice it.
So Lark, as you're kind of cutting away, you've got kind of a pretty decent view of outside. Because you're kind of up front and personal with a hole in the hull. And it's so there's other objects in space, especially in this particular sector. And you can see one off in the distance. And a few minutes ago when you were looking and cutting and glancing out the cracks and the breach, you realize that the object that was quite a bit off in the distance is relatively closer now. And so given without a computer or trajectory, you're like realizing the speed of which the ship is being pulled is picking up quite a bit.
Okay. I'm going to continue cutting then. Agda, I think you guys should stay up on the bridge. Just keep an eye on the monitors. Let me know if anything is moving around on the ship or if we're about to collide with something. We're speeding up and I need to get this thing off of us.
Mr. Lark, maybe you should concentrate on your cutting instead of looking out into space.
Guys, I can't leave.
Thank you, Dirt.
So Agda has no idea how to run these controls, but since Lark's asking her to, she's going to go ahead and obey these commands. So she'd like to start monitoring movement on the ship. And
Oh, I was hoping you could tell good blips from bad blips. Please.
I'm looking for good blips and bad blips.
Okay.
So Sean, how does that go for me?
Do you have computers?
I have intellect.
Okay.
I didn't have mechanical repair or heavy machinery either.
Would this be covered by military training?
Yeah,
Standard security screens, probably.
odds are
you could justify that one.
odds are eventually I'm gonna say yes to that. But it will not be this time.
Okay.
You're making the day.
Intellect roll?
Give me an intellect roll.
I don't have a launcher. I just
No,
have,
sir. It is not a crit fail, but I cannot figure it out.
Just a normal fail. Show off.
The normal-
That's why I didn't install.
Slacker.
All right.
I think it's broken. I don't know.
Yeah. Agda's like, not sure. Mark, take a point of stress, sir.
All right.
Thankfully,
Even-
I'm not
even-
around.
Even
I'm
while I'm
writing it.
comforting him? Come on, I keep patting him on the back, telling him
That's not helping,
Take
man.
3 points of stress, Mark.
Is this
Just
getting
kidding.
Just kidding.
hurtling
No.
towards look like a lush green paradise?
You, because of the realization of the velocity of which you are starting to move, you feel stressed, man. You're trying to cut this thing in an amount of time as things are propelling towards the surface of a moon.
Yeah, I'm at a 7.
Why are they even bothering to pull us? Gravity would do the job for them. Why go to all this trouble?
Buford, you're going to find out in no time.
We'll ask them.
A very quick stop at the end. Well,
Yeah,
It's not the fall that kills you.
that's right.
I'm going to mention to Ogda that
Concrete
large blood
poisoning.
pressure is like shooting up here.
Is that what?
Lark's blood pressure is getting really high. I think.
Oh.
Think when we're all done with this, he might need to start taking something.
Well, here, how about this? So, Lark, you seem like you're really stressed. I want you to imagine that you're laying on and you're the gentle waves of the ocean crashing gently upon your feet.
He's getting to use it.
Thank you. That's really
happening.
helpful. Thank you, Agda. I'm feeling very calm.
Relaxed. All is well.
Marines. Well, you know, it's funny because Agda has that transcendental meditation. Is that?
Yes, but according to the rules, that's kind of like in a downtime moment. And I don't think it's particularly helpful when
No.
he's holding on to the to a broken hole in the ship, trying to get rid of it.
It's also
Yeah.
very interesting to have a Marine have that kind of zen.
I mean, I
Those
don't
court
think
ordered.
it's going to help my stress. I will point out, I think Ogda's like the one person on the ship that I really trust. So,
Ah,
All right, so
he
Tim's
seems to mostly have our shit together.
Agda, and Buford, you're on the bridge.
Uh-huh.
I'm being alert. Looking,
So I'll
covering the door.
I'll ask Ogda. So how's the hallways look?
They look clear.
not mentioning that you can't get the cameras to work.
Don't show weakness. Don't show weakness.
There are no blips on this monitor.
Is that on?
Oh. Maybe not. I don't know, Tim. Can you work this thing?
Can I attempt to
What are you gonna try to do, Tim's?
just try and get the security monitor on?
Sure.
I thought there'd be little green blips on there if there are things in the hallways. No?
I don't have any particular training unless chemistry would help. But
So for you, it's chemistry, and for Agda, and Buford, it's military training. Got it.
Don't you
well,
love
for me, it's chemistry because that's how I relax.
Fair.
They're living through chemistry.
But yes, can I attempt an intellect roll to see
Sure,
if I can
yes.
get this to work?
Of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
That's a 73, so no.
No dice. Oh, that's odd. Strange.
He told you there's no blip.
I think it's unplugged.
So as you guys are on the bridge, looking
I'm gonna
out
check my bag.
through the portholes of the bridge, the planet, the moon, is taking up quite a bit of your vision, which was obviously not there ever. So you know that the ship has taken a turn into some degree.
Yeah, do you think Lark knows we're that close to the moon?
Maybe we should have mentioned this to him right this moment, just in case he doesn't.
It's probably.
Am I hearing them
another
talking over the comms?
It's probably another hallucination. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
just tuning them out.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how cranked up you have the torch.
Okay.
So Ogda is really hoping that there's an atmosphere on this moon. As it's becoming big in the screen, do we see bodies of water? Do we see the tops of of like big areas of forest?
Do we see the ship burning up?
So you head
Exactly.
We're
like an
towards
atmosphere, water.
you head towards the front or the hull of the ship, and you look out and you realize that there is some features out on the moon that you can make out. So it's getting significantly closer, faster, as much as descent to the surface can be. You see some dunes in the distance. There seems to be let's see. It looks relatively barren, though it's littered with some spots that appear to be, you're not sure, could be wrecks of some kind. It's hard to make out at this distance, of course, but since there's no atmosphere and it's, relatively dead.
No atmosphere. Boo.
Yeah, atmosphere's overrated.
Wait, there's a dead planet.
There's a dead planet in
Dead planet.
the
Okay.
dead planet, yeah. Although you're not going towards the planet. You're going
Right.
towards the moon
Right.
of the dead planet. But
Chase him off.
And Dead Moon is a great band.
It's a good voice. Chase him off.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I don't like how close that thing's getting, or how close we're getting to it technically, because relativity. I took science in school. I just start like rambling.
Each one of you, please take a point of stress. Dr. Timms.
Yes. I didn't
Nothing.
fail a sanity check.
That's right. No sanity check yet. So, folks that are not familiar with the Mothership rules, stress can be induced or taken by the player characters for different things that occur in the game. And then at some point, there is a mechanic called panic.
Yeah, what level is that? Or when should we start reporting what our stress level is to?
You don't need to worry about that. It's when he tells us to make a sanity
Fear.
fear check.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we fail that, we take a stress point. But if we crit fail it, then we've got to do a panic check. But you can also just
Okay.
call for a panic check, right?
Well, yes. So one thing I failed to do is if you critically fail a save, well, I don't think there's been a save necessarily. There will be panic. If you encounter a horrific creature for the first time, lose more than half your max health in one hit, get hit by a critical hit, critically fail or say a save, which I mentioned, see a crew member die, see more than one crew member panic, or your ship loses more than half its hull. So those are just examples in the book. So
We're getting close to that last one.
As a
Oh no, we're
teamster,
really sturdy. We'll
No,
be
no, we
fine.
got the whole ship still. We're fine.
if I do have to roll on the panic effect table, I can re-roll once per session.
yeah, you got it all together, Lark. Just don't be in the same room with Timms and you'll be fine. Or Ogda and Buford if they lose their shit.
They are all on the bridge together, far away from me, while I'm doing this delicate, important work.
Although
And
the
gaining more
Commodore-
stress than we are.
Solid 7.
So Timms, I think, because he's a scientist, if there is one that's taken, or what is it? Everybody incurs.
If I fail a sanity check, then everyone gets an additional stress.
Yeah, because we got that stress earlier. Yeah.
And then if
Also-
Ogda or Buford fail, you guys have a mechanic, or one or the other. I think if one of you fail a panic check.
If
one
they
of us,
panic-
if one of us panics,
Yes.
so it means if we fail if we fail a stress check and then panic,
Yes,
then yeah, everybody needs to make a fear save.
right.
And those are at a disadvantage if dirt is around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fear saves are at a disadvantage if I'm nearby.
That's why we left him with you.
So if the Marines start saying "Game over, man," then
It's game over, man.
That's it. All
Hey,
right.
Sean,
Yeah.
I want to go walking over to the other two, going, "What are you doing? You're trying to. Why isn't the screen on?
it's unplugged.
Here, let me show you how it's done." Actually, I made it.
What are you trying to turn on, Buford?
Screen.
Oh, just the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. The
Since
screen.
these guys haven't gotten it to work, so it's you just do this.
All
I
right.
just picture like Buford just like walks up and slaps the side of the thing. And
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
$100.
All right. Screen pops on. Now,
There
is
you
this
go. Now you can look for your dots.
yeah. Yep. So there is an indicator of something that lies. It's located. Shoot. I keep scrolling past it. on the upper level in the what appears to be the first mate's quarters, which would be towards the back. If you're looking at the back of the ship, it would be on the upper level to your right. Same side as the cryo chamber, crazy enough.
So up above?
Yes.
Sorry, I had an ADD spaced out moment for a second there. I'll be honest when I have those. So did we just found a creature on the ship? Is that
On
right?
the monitor that Buford just fired up.
Oh, damn. Lark, you want us to go shoot this thing up? Or stay put?
I have no idea what you're talking about, man. I'm just trying to cut through this harpoon.
There's an
Please-
alien, man. There's another
please
one of these
live-
monsters screwing around.
Leave Mr. Lark alone. He's busy right now.
Use your discretion, Ogda. Whatever you think's best.
All right.
Grenades, ma'am.
I'm
Buford?
glad they programmed in self-preservation.
Buford, let's go shoot up some alien.
All right. Hoorah!
Mr. Lark, can you give me your check again?
And I'm working on the
Mechanical
door.
repair again.
Mechanical repair, please. Yes.
All right. Need a 47 or lower. 40. Oh, no, 4. I rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, but in this game, you want as close as you can to your skill.
Only on opposed checks.
Right. All right. Making some decent progress.
Cool.
Ship is still flying through space with the moon getting bigger. Ogden, Buford, are you going to
Rock
investigate
and roll.
the creature? Buford is. I don't know about Ogda.
Oh, yeah, no, we are,
No, she
we
said
are
we
locked
are.
and loaded.
All right.
Leave Tim's alone
Tim's,
again.
what are you going to do, buddy?
That's all right.
Why, Doc,
Not
you wanna come
alone. He's
along?
got his friend on the table.
He's got a gun.
yeah, yeah. I have a trank gun. I'm sure it's gonna put that horrible multi-arm hand culture to sleep.
Yeah,
That's a
Trank yourself so you
Doc.
don't
That's
have
a
to see it
spirit.
coming.
So you're gonna stay on the bridge.
Yeah,
Dr.
I'm gonna
Timms?
stay on the bridge. I mean, I would have liked to have like restaged all of this like towards the med bay, but I don't think we're going to be in orbit long enough for us to get into the med bay at this point.
Sorry, and was it Tim's or Dirt who discovered the blip on the radar?
Well, it could be. It was kind of all of you. Well, it's Buford hit the monitor and tapped it. Tim's would have probably just, as you guys were looking at it, Buford, same thing. Agda, I don't know if you were looking outside the porthole
Probably.
towards the front of this ship or not, but
Yeah, that's what
regardless, as it begins, you hear an audio beep.
Perfect. Hey, Tim's, do you want to keep an eye on this blip on the monitor and see if it moves around while we're approaching it? You can let us know.
I'll be on blip watch.
All right, guys, make your way
Yeah.
towards the first mate's quarters,
All
which
right.
is going to involve you going up a level. Yep.
Mr. Warden, how long has it been since I skimmed Buford?
Oh, it's been probably
Well, dang, that's right. I forgot about that.
10 minutes, 15.
Okay.
Things have moved relatively quickly. I mean, he was in the
I
cargo.
rolled shitty for him, so he only had an hour. Ogda got 4 hours out of hers, but apparently Buford's got a higher metabolism.
or maybe you just didn't hit him with the right mix.
Malpractice.
Buford's got a tolerance built up.
So Ogden and Buford, you go up the lift
Yeah.
and you come up to the third level.
And is this our first time on the third level?
It is not. The last session, you guys happened to get into, I believe, was it the med bay?
Yeah, isn't that where we found the
That's
survivor?
where we found the survivor.
Where
Yeah.
you found the survivor, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
which happens to be unconscious on the bridge with Dr. Timms.
Great.
So you exit the lift, and according to the map, you are here when you come off the lift, and it's bolted onto the side of the window, onto the side of the wall, and it says Medbay. Arrow. Dan's the only one getting it. So you know by the map that you have, or having been up here, is that it's around the corner, down the hall, and to the right. I don't know if you guys would actually know this, but Timms, you have kind of a being on this one. So, Timms, you could see, right, on the monitor where Agda and Buford are.
Wait, Timms, we're turned around. Which way do we turn?
Timms gives you the direction. He goes, hey, go this way. Go this way.
Okay, perfect. So now we're there, right?
Hey, if you swing by the med bay again, look for pills.
We'll do that after we shoot this thing up.
Actually, I
Or
thought
stem.
something else too. Actually, how about oxygen tanks?
Oh yeah, that too.
So you come around the corner. So when you kind of get off the lift, it goes almost around to your left and then hooks back to your right. Okay, kind of as it juts around. It's kind of a weird corner. And you look down the corridor that you're starting to kind of mosey down. And the lighting flickers, kind of the emergency lighting along the floor, kind of along the edges of the walls that light up when all the regular lighting is off and systems aren't functioning properly. The corridor seems to be black and metal with some glinting as the light shines off of it and flickers on and off. It's deathly quiet up here. Even you're away from the hull breach. There isn't any computer systems. There isn't any audible sounds bouncing off of anything. And then you look down the hallway to what you assume to have Timms explain to you that there's the alien. So the quarters is the last door on the right-hand side. Across, before you get to that door on the left, and so I should say a regular door. It's like a quarters door. It's not what are the big bulkhead doors that you're used to, like the cargo bay, the cryo chamber. There is a bulkhead door to the left before you go down the corridor, and that would lead to the med bay, which you've been in before.
Okay,
But
so
supposedly this thing is right on the other side of the doors to this quarter.
It appears so, according to Timms.
you said it's a light door, so will bullets go through it?
That is a good question, Buford. I would say possibly. I mean,
Buford really doesn't like to aim his shots. That's
yeah.
How about this? How about this,
we could,
Buford?
we could try the grenades.
I'll kick the door open. Once you, if you can tell that's not a human, go ahead and throw in a grenade.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to have the gun ready, but I'm going to kick the door open.
All right, so you make your way down the corridor.
Yes.
Okay. And you come to the door on your right.
Yes.
It's dark, lights up, lights flicker. Still quiet.
Okay. Kick that fucking door open.
All right. Yeah, kick the door open. Door just opens up. Buford, you gonna go in, or you guys just gonna rock and roll? What are you gonna do?
What do our lights
You
show?
immediately see a figure.
You do not see a figure. Tim's on the monitor that you're looking at. You see the dot that is literally right in front of Agda and Buford. As if it reached out, it could grab grab them.
You got a dot right on top of you.
Fine,
I'm
fire in the
like
hole.
right there.
Got my gun, looking in all directions.
You don't
Fire in
see
the hole,
anything.
toss it through the door, and get out of the way.
All right. So as soon as Buford throws his grenade through the door, I close the door.
Okay. Grenade goes off. An explosion occurs. You hear it. Well, you wouldn't. You could probably hear it, Tim's, through the chambers. Small. It's a faint explosion that occurs in the distance of the ship, as you see on the monitor. Agda and Buford's kind of their signals are outside of the room, and the pulsing light is not present at the moment.
I'm not seeing it. Did you see like body parts or something?
All right, we smoked it.
Well, let's go and take a look.
Don't get cocky.
I'll go ahead and open up the door.
Open up the door.
And our forehead flashlights are blaring.
Yep. So you open the door, and it's dark, and then obviously the beams of light from your forehead flashlights hit the opposite wall. Inside, you see a table that is no longer. It's in just shambles. Pieces of what were probably part of that table are blasted throughout the quarters. There is also a bunk that is up against one of the walls, where the linen and the mattress that was there is blown up against the wall, scorching the wall. Feathers are everywhere. I guess not feathers, but stuffing.
Is there any kind of biological debris?
And then as you're standing there, looking around, trying to keep your senses, combing the room, Agda, you see something drip onto the front of your rifle. It just kind of drips right onto the top of it.
I immediately point upwards and start shooting.
That's the only thing to do.
All right. So you unleash, and then the room lights up. Like every shot that coming out of the flash compressor lights up the room in the darkness. You could see above something that's there's a ventilation square vent shaft right above the door that is essentially not there, right? The covering is gone. And as the light flickers, you could see like a strobe that shows the face of the alien that you guys had dispatched earlier, kind of the mouth and the black leathery tentacles. And it screeches out in pain as you hit it with a bunch of bullets and ammunition. It just screeches, and the screech becomes louder and louder as it just and it attempts to get out of the corridor and into the shaft, away from you and your bullet wreaking havoc. You continue to shoot, or do you let up?
Oh no, I'm.
So keep going.
Oh yeah.
All right. Give me some shooting checks.
All right.
Yeah.
And I forget, with the SMG, you roll with advantage. Is that right? Did I make that up?
Let me see.
I just got there.
SMG. SMG.
No, I think I made that up. Okay, cool.
Damage 40-10, collapsible stock.
Yeah, I succeed.
All right.
Roll some damage.
Please.
26.
26. All right. All right, 26. Okay. All right.
Does Buford get a chance to?
Buford, give me a speed check.
With military training added on? This is just the kind of moment that he's prepared for.
Yes,
If
you
it
can
were-
do your
Okay.
military check with this.
Yes, it works.
Fine.
Yeah, but I failed.
You failed?
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Good job.
What did you roll, Buford?
I rolled a 73.
Okay. So as an opposed check, he would have still won. So you stop. Agda, you just unload, right? Just not stopping.
Yeah, should I do another round?
Nope, that's fine. So you're going and you're just. I
want it dead.
Yeah, and
Again.
as that occurs, all of a sudden, silence, bolt snaps, and nothing happens. Becomes quiet. The strobe light discontinues from the flashes of your weapon, and it becomes quiet.
Reload.
Tim's, okay, sure. Drop it. Put in another one. Tim's, you see on the monitor the dot of the alien moving through the ventilation system of the ship. Obviously away from Agda and Buford. Doesn't want anything to do with them.
It's not dead, but I think you scared it.
And as Tim says that, you can hear just this ear-piercing screech coming from the end of the corridor from which you came down the lift. And it comes through that ventilation shaft, and just, it's like, as soon as Tim says that and that occurs, it's like, well, no brainer, right? Obviously it's still alive, and but it's blood curdling screech. Agda and Buford, give me or take a point of stress.
You're just building this stress up until we actually have to make a roll.
Put it in the bank.
I haven't created the scenario to have you guys roll yet. I don't think anything's really been that crucial yet. All right.
So I go ahead and start flexing the pinup girl on my jumper, and I'm like, "Don't worry, girl, we'll get it." And I jump up into the ventilation system and start crawling after it.
You're gonna go up in the ventilation system.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
Hey, Agda, it looks like you're crawling into the ventilation system.
That's
Ma'am,
correct. You got that right, Tim's.
Ma'am, is that a good idea?
As your physician, I'd like to advise against that course of action.
How much of this am I hearing over the comms?
Unless these guys say, "Hey, we're just talking amongst ourselves," you probably hear everything. Lark.
I'm still trying to tune it out, but
I still pat you on the back every now and then.
I mean, if Lord
Don't
tells
listen,
me,
Mr. Lark.
if Lord
Don't listen,
tells me to
Mr.
come down,
Lark.
I'll come down. But unless I hear it from Lark, I'm going after it.
All right,
Ma'am, is that a good idea?
Buford,
I'm in
you
no
see
position to
Agda
give
jump
orders.
up grab something off the floor, jump on it, and grab the top of the ceiling where the opening is, and does one of her awesome pull-ups and jacks herself up into the ventilation shaft. What do you do?
Isn't that what they used to call in training the death tunnel?
Military training, not on this roll, Agda, according to Buford.
Hey, we had different trainers.
Different schools.
We both had training. It's just different.
Dirt, what are you doing?
If I heard any of this, I would be looking up at the ceiling, still trying to fix the door, and I keep patting Lark on the back, telling him it's all going to be okay. Not to worry.
not helping, man.
Like, it's okay. It's okay. What? Did you see that? Yeah. It's gonna
All
get
right.
us.
Lark, give me a check.
Okay. Repair. 28 is a success.
Okay.
See, I should have been using the rainbow dice from the start.
You should have. Mothership needs rainbow dice.
Hey, Dirtless, maybe it's your male modulated voice. Maybe you should switch voice modulations to calm
Please
him down.
don't.
Oh, yeah. I'll turn the female voice on. And slowly caress his back.
I like how the female voice just sounds like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Right. That's freaky.
You're a good human helper, Dirt. Just focus on the door.
So Dirt.
So I am trying to repair the door, but looking out and trying to comfort Lark at the same time.
Okay.
I'm multitasking.
You are a little bit. That's
Yeah.
fine. When as you're looking out and you're trying to repair the door to the cryo chamber.
Yeah, because it was stuck or jammed. We don't know what happened. We couldn't get it to close, and Lark said that he'd like it to close, so I'm obviously trying to get it to close.
Found the orders of the meat bags
Yeah. They want it closed. so I'll just
before
close
you short circuit and go on a murdering rampage. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
What's
be on the other side of the door when it closes.
that's right, of course. What
At that point,
are
I
you
might
using?
be okay with it.
What are you using? Anything specific, Dirt, to achieve this?
I think the only thing I have that might help is a crowbar
Okay, crowbar
and a
mean,
flashlight.
and
I
a
could
flashlight.
hand you my hand welder as well, since I'm probably not using it.
All right, give me a strength check, Mr. Dirt.
One of my best stats ever. Like, here we go, 22 or below.
Doc Timms, you should have
Hey,
given.
wait. Oh, that's 47.
So as you're trying to futz with the door, you seem distracted at Lark and what's going on over there. So you're kind of like,
Maybe I heard machine gun fire.
It's
I
his
probably heard a little
programmed
machine gun
concern for me.
fire. You've heard
Yeah.
Tim say that there's something above Ogda and Beaufort.
Buford screaming fire in the hall.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you can focus specifically on the door. And what's got you a little bit more nervous is that as you look past the cracks in the hull with this big, huge grappling hook stuck into your ship, is that the surface of the moon is now quite apparent through the cracks of the hull of the ship, which was
Yeah.
not the case this whole time that you've been in there. Lark, I think it goes without saying, if you seem relatively concentrated, you've done some very good work mechanical repair wise and making way and cutting this thing. But it would be remiss for you not to notice what is occurring outside the walls of the ship.
Is this a prepare for impact moment?
Lark, everything's going to be okay. We won't know anything. We won't care about anything in a few minutes.
This is why you roll fear saves at disadvantage with androids.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still focusing on cutting this, but I do wish someone was on the bridge that could, engage thrusters.
There's somebody on the bridge.
There are two people
Ooh.
on the bridge. One's asleep.
Oh, Tim's.
You could tell me to try and engage thrusters, and I could
The man
attempt.
couldn't operate a screen.
Jackson
Yeah.
Dane is if he was available, he might be able to help, but he's
asleep
passed
too.
out up on the bridge with Tim's.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what
Okay.
happened to Dane. Just poof.
Got the vapors.
Yeah.
All right, Tim's. I'm almost done cutting us free, but we are about to collide with a moon, so I'm going to need you to engage the thrusters on my word. Are you able to do that?
Okay. Where's the thruster controls? Are they labeled?
So is this like assisting? Like, would this be an assist roll or?
I mean, I would
Yeah.
try to describe it to him. I do have piloting, so I would be able to do that.
It's like when air traffic control tries to help a non-pilot land a plane. It's a thing.
It works sometimes.
I mean, at best, I would say he wouldn't have disadvantage from me helping,
Fair,
but
fair.
he's certainly not going to be better.
And I'm
suited.
sure that I'm like, shh, Dr. Tim, or Mr. Lark, concentrate. Yeah. Concentrate.
I literally had a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company tell me. I told him they wanted me to do something for recruitment and for the company, and I said, "Look, that's not my forte." They wanted me to recruit the CFO of the company. I said, "Well, in all fairness, that's fine, but I'm not an accountant, or I don't have finance and accounting, and I don't recruit accountants." And the CEO looked at me and said, "If you were in the cockpit of the plane and the pilots died, would you go back and tell the passengers?" And I thought and so there you have it. I said, well, what I told him was, yeah, I get the fake it till you make it piece, but I certainly am not going to bullshit a CEO. So in applying that to this game, I don't know.
Well, I have an idea. So piloting gives you a plus 10% on your checks. Maybe with Eric Lark's assistance, Tim's will have a plus 5 on his intellect check.
Fair.
I mean,
I could buy
maybe. I'm
No, just
trying
say
to
yes.
talk him through that while also trying to continue cutting.
Oh, that's right. So that you would be stopping the cutting.
So I'm probably just describing the shape and color of the buttons to hit from memory while focusing on something else.
So Lark, you're going to continue to cut and describe this to Tim's?
I think both of these are urgent matters that should be attended to.
Right, fair enough.
You do know multitasking is a myth, right?
I'm doing the best I can, man.
Lark can have it all.
All right, Tim's. What do we agree upon? Like Lark, and then what, a plus 5 on Tim's check?
If that sounds good for you.
And you have piloting, Tim's?
I do. He doesn't.
I don't,
I'm assuming.
That's why we're giving him the plus 5.
That's why we're giving him the plus 5.
I'm just relatively intelligent. Which is to say I'm above 50%.
Go ahead, give me an intelligence check with the plus 5. See if you can figure
Is
this
Lark
out.
giving me the signal to hit the thrusters?
Yeah, is it 1, 2, 3, or is it?
It is once
1, 2,
I have
3.
us loose. Once I've finished cutting and we're loose, that's when I want.
So do you want me to roll to see like if I was actually standing in the right spot when he says go, and then we find out that I just like dumped all of our toilet water?
No.
Yeah, lose some weight. It's okay. Ship will go faster that
All
way.
right, Tim's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever so what we're doing is Lark's like, hey, there's this panel on the panel, and trying to kind of figure out, well, based on this ship, it should be here, and you hear the laser torch in the background. Shit, it's you're like, I think I got it. Okay, yeah.
Are we in vacuum?
Not over
Again,
comms.
it's
Yeah, but the laser
Guys, mute
cutter
that.
would
the
make
moment
more
I'm
sense.
free floating in space, I'm lighting a cigarette. That's all. Ogden will be smoking a cigarette while floating in space. Nobody can argue that point.
So would you like to know what I rolled here?
Hey, man.
Are we ready for the results?
Did I finish cutting? Because that's when I was going to give him the signal.
Oh, no. So you can no. So what I imagine happening is you're telling him where it is and everything.
Yes.
And so so
he's
that's
ready.
fine. If you're gonna wait for a cue, he's still cutting away. So he's like, "Don't do anything yet," and you're like, "Okay, I think I found the button," or whatever.
Although, because of Tim's role, I think he might not have picked up on that part. It might have just turned the thrusters on.
Whose side are you on, man?
Tim's rolled, and now he's like, "It's a good roll. I want it to happen now." Or
Well, yeah, I rolled because I thought Sean wanted me to roll at that point. So
no, that's so you can keep the roll. Let it keep us in suspense. You can use that.
I will not give away the number yet.
I'll tell you what, Tim's. I'll tell you what.
I rolled a number.
I'll give you the choice, Jared, on whether you want to use that roll or not. but you can't tell us what it is yet. And no sign language or any of this other stuff going on.
Chat. Let's see.
I heard Sean can't see the chat in Zoom.
Oh, I can now, you dirty buggers. I see it over here.
Yeah.
Quick,
I'm not monitoring it, but I can see it now. I slid it out that way beforehand, so when I moved you guys, I didn't have to unslide it.
All right.
How do you get chat?
In Zoom,
Yeah.
the bottom, there's a little button that says chat, I think. What is it? It's like, looks like a...
Leave. I have my bottom says leave.
Oh, Dan.
I got it. All right.
So,
Yeah, mostly haven't been using it.
Neither have I.
No, there's nothing going on in there. So, Shepard,
Sean, I'm sending you the the roll.
Are you really? In the
Yes.
where? How?
I sent it. I sent it via
You whispered it to
private
me?
message on Twitter.
I don't see it in the Zoom chat.
It's not in the Zoom. It's in Twitter.
On Twitter?
That's
You want me to open a whole other window?
No. You mean Twitch or you mean Twitter?
I don't have Twitter up yet.
No, I was just I was trying not to make it obvious to everyone.
Did you put it out on Twitter or did you DM me?
No, I direct messaged you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is like, Twitter, shit. Jeff's on there.
Nope.
I got it up right here.
Just to preserve the suspense, I sent it directly to you.
Okay. No, I haven't even looked at it, ladies and
Okay,
gentlemen.
yeah.
So I have no
So
idea.
assuming
So
he
everyone do what
doesn't-
you're going to do, and then I'll let you know what happens.
I'm going to be
Assuming-
disappointed if it was good for you.
Assuming Sims doesn't jump the gun, I want to signal him like the second I have us free.
Yeah, it's going along pretty well. The critical failure did not help matters. You are caught up with the job, caught up to the point where you were prior to the fiasco that you had created earlier. As things progress, it is essentially a race to cut this thing off, in which case the thrusters are going to definitely need to come on, or else you're just going to float down to the moon in a tragic accident here. You're going to get pulled towards it, or you could escape this, in which case I will wonder what you're going to do. So, Agda, or Dirt, what are you doing? You're still kind of sitting there spectating,
Yeah, well,
wondering what's going on?
I'm going to look back and say, Mr. Lark, if I'm looking at my watch and the oxygen levels, I'm like, if, we start to run low on oxygen, I'll loan you my my vac suit, but I'm going to keep the boots. Then I'll pat him on the back again.
Oh.
I appreciate it, Jared. I'm not going to change back suits right now. Kind of in the middle.
We really need to remove that inappropriate touching.
You could like plug your vac suit or a vac suit into his. Like, I'm gonna
tries to calm you down by just.
I'm giving you an extra hour of oxygen.
Don't know who wrote this program, but that doesn't calm people down.
If you're not having any luck with that door, maybe you should go help out Tim's. He might need help activating the thrusters once we're free.
Dirt, your programming is told you that humans calm down significantly when you touch their faces with the back of your hand gently.
Nice caress.
Yes, a nice caress. Not to be mistaken with the backhand, right? That's something different.
That's when it critically fails.
That's
how you calm someone down when they're panicking. That's what
Yeah.
I'll probably turn around and start giving him a nice light back massage. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
It'll be okay.
We should have brought Tree.
Yeah, Lark, you might relieve some stress, man. I might have to take off a couple of points from your character.
If
You can show him how to do golf moves from
I'm
behind.
less certain of that.
Oh,
all in
man.
the hips. It's all...
Yeah. So I'm just I am gonna stay with Mr. Larkin unless he tells me to leave because I don't think anybody should be left alone. You know, two men always. Yeah. Two
You
people.
know, there's something there. There's some humanity there with dirt.
That's what my programmer tells me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Agda telling me how to find my happy place.
Right now, Agda's crawling through the ventilation system trying to find her happy place.
I was going to say, that's perfect.
Yeah, so Agda, boom, up into the ventilation shaft. Buford, you see Agda jump in there. Feet's gone. You hear slinking down. Are you going just who cares, Agda? Are you trying to keep quiet? How are you moseying down the ventilation shaft?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Okay.
It's not fully reckless. I'm trying to have a little bit of speed in there, but I'm also not just like barreling through.
Fair. As you're making your way through the shaft, it's obviously dark. You've got your little flashlight on your head. And as you see it go looking down the hallway or the corridor, you can see it go towards the end. You can also see streaks of some type of fluid that's obviously been kind of smeared on the smeared on the.
I think schmear is like what you do on a bagel.
That's what it's derived from, though, right? Schmear. Is it a noun or is it a
I
verb?
think schmear is supposed to be like tasty.
There's tasty like fluid through the ventilation shaft.
Tasty fluid.
I don't know. Smeared on the sides and on the flooring of the ventilation shaft.
What's going on this ship?
We have all failed sanity checks.
I have not drank one drop of alcohol today, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to say that for the record. Stay tuned next week when I will have a couple. But it is, yeah, you could see that obviously that you did some damage and that it's probably coming from your prey.
Hey, I follow it.
Okay. Tim's, you see on the
SMG out, ready to blow it to smithereens.
So Tim's, question for you.
Uh-huh.
Are you monitoring thrusters or are you monitoring the monitor with Alien and Agda?
Would you like me to roll again with disadvantage because I'm splitting my attention?
So I still do not know the result, by the way.
You do not.
I don't.
You haven't looked yet.
I have not looked. So I'm giving you the option to tell me as the player character. Because
Well, I would hate to feel responsible for Agda getting her face eaten off.
I see.
So I would be splitting my attention between the two.
I see. So you're trying to do both.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Okay. Excellent. Sounds like a plan. Buford, what are you doing?
Well, I'm trotting along outside since Agda's going through the vent. I want to make sure she's gotten an exit out. So I'll trot along trying to hear where she is, and then if the thing busts out into the hallway via the ventilation shafts, I'll be ready.
Okay. You're not going to do Die Hard and blast the ventilation shaft?
If I had some of the archaeologist teams of plastique, yeah, I would. But no, grenades don't do that.
I'm sure Agda appreciates that, Buford. And don't shoot into the ventilation shaft. All right. As you're going, Agda, you can hear up ahead. You could hear the screeching and the scratching that's going through the ventilation shaft. Tim's, Dirt, and Lark, you can't hear this. It's too far away, and Agda's actually plugging up part of the ventilation shaft. Yeah, you're focused, Lark. Tim's, you see another dot on the monitor. And it's not in front of Agda, but it's a separate dot altogether. So there are two dots floating around the ship.
Agda, they're multiplying.
Where's the other one?
The other one is... It's ahead of you, Agda, and to the left. So it would
So
be...
it's ahead of me?
It is ahead of you. And so you have two ahead of you. Tim's, you're not sure if one is in the ventilation. You are fairly certain one's in a ventilation shaft, and the other, you're not sure.
But where is it relative to her?
Both in front of Agda. So like one is kind of to the right, the other one is directly kind of ahead of Agda.
Is the smear of blood going directly ahead, or is that there's a smear of blood going off to the right?
Directly ahead.
Okay, and does he think that the one to the right is the one that's in the ventilation system with me, or the one straight ahead?
Straight ahead.
Okay, so the one to the right might be just on the ship on Buford's level.
Correct.
Does that correlate to a specific room?
It would be right. Yes, would be the crew's quarters, which would be next to the med bay.
All right. Buford, you want me to hop out and help you take that one, or should I keep going after the injured one?
Well, I never thought it was a good idea to go into the shaft in the first place, ma'am.
All right, I'll come down. I go ahead and knock out the first vent I see and hop down, and we're going to go after the one that's in the second quarters. Is that what you said?
Crew quarters.
The crew quarters.
Yeah, there's a couple crew quarters. This one is next to the med bay. So kind of picture this. Agda gets up into the ventilation shaft and starts in a particular direction, pretty much in the direction that you came from, right?
Okay.
In the direction of the lift. Buford, you're the same, kind of paralleling, in parallel with Agda, going in the same direction towards the lift. As you're doing that, Agda can tell that, or is informed by Tim's, that one of the aliens is still ahead of Agda in the ventilation shaft, or so it appears. And then the other dot is off to your kind of front right. As you mosey down the corridor, I need to stop using mosey. As you go down the corridor, there's the bulkhead door to your right that goes into the med bay. Okay, so that's there. According to Tim's, the dot is coming from the quarters that are in another room down from the med bay ahead of you. The entryway into the quarters is more at a 45-degree angle. So it's got this weird angle and then a door. And if you go to the left, past that door, you eventually make your way to the lift that you came down originally. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So, okay.
So I'm going to go. Is there a vent that I can hop out of?
Yes. You come down and when you come out, you're essentially right across from the med bay bulkhead door.
And Agda is fully aware that she's behaving a little impulsively and probably shouldn't have hopped up into that vent, but she's not quite ready to own that impulsivity yet.
I see.
So she's kind of digging her heels into the ground and being like, I think you got away. But yeah, let's go after this one.
Ma'am, center yourself.
I start imagining the gentle breeze of my girlfriend's whispers.
Hey.
Nah.
All right,
You
anyways,
need to send dirt up there?
let's go.
No.
Okay, I'm centered. Buford, let's go.
All right. So, okay, there's the door. You're in front of the door.
Same plan as last time?
Sure.
Okay.
I kick it down.
Throw the grenade in.
All right. Same tactics. Very nice. All right.
Well, we know they don't like grenades.
Well,
Military training to breach the door.
no, yeah, military training to breach the door. Yeah. So, you open the door, toss in a grenade. Kabloom! Gonna open the door now. You hear screeching inside.
Okay.
I should probably state.
Okay, I suggest that. Okay, when we go in, I'll check up on top. Keep my gun trained on top. You keep the gun trained straight ahead.
Sounds
So
good.
in case it's on the floor or ceiling, we got it.
That's the plan.
Okay.
All right. Go in the room, have your wits about you got your military training.
Yep.
Okay.
All plus 10.
And then what's the damage a grenade does?
1d10.
Buford, give me a roll.
1d10 times 10.
Oh, sorry, times 10.
Oof. Give me a roll, please.
One mega damage to ships.
Oh, shit.
Oh, good to know. Might have
So
another
Sean's
breach.
asking your,
Oh,
your
me?
damage.
Yeah, damage, please.
Okay, so
I want to see if you killed it or not.
okay, so it's
Buford.
1d10 times 10. Okay. 7, so that's 70.
Okay.
So
Is that enough?
Did 70 points of damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so you're going through, it's dark, flashlight beams across the walls, and you see part of you're not even sure. It's remains of this alien. It's black and the leathery puddle that it is. And then of course you could see remnants of it scattered on the far wall, as well as the left one. Debris in the room, a couple bunks. I mean, half are, splintered and gone. Stuffing burnt, singed, mattresses.
And my mama thought that all those times I spent throwing M80s down the well was wasted time.
And when this happened, did Tim's see the one kind of green pixel turn into a bunch of small pixels and spread apart real quick?
Yes. It was like a small pen exploded and then was no longer.
That's 2. One more to go.
All right. So Tim's, where's the one that got away?
Tim's, you can pick up where it was going or where it is now. It looks like it's made its way down a level towards the cargo hold.
It's going down and towards the cargo hold.
that's on the general chat channel. Then I would raise my harpoon again.
The general chat.
Yeah. Now that I know it's going towards Dirt and Lark, I'm gonna go. We're gonna book it.
Okay.
Everybody still okay, unhurt?
It's okay, Mr. Lark. Don't worry. I've got your back.
Thank you, Dirt.
While he's
Just-
holding my harpoon gun.
Just going with it now. Just
Yeah.
I won't leave you, Mr. Lark.
Lark,
When's
we
the
have a
wedding?
free.
I'm pulling up Twitter. I don't know if I should.
still cutting until Sean tells me I'm done.
See what he's doing is he's increasing the pressure.
I don't know if that's a success or not. We'll
Well,
find out.
my intellect is 56.
Oh,
Well, we know it's either a crit fail or a crit success.
and now I see your message that you were going to show up this evening. Thank you.
Yes.
Like, Sean, if you don't mind, I'm going to show up tonight. Hey, okay, good to know. Time travel here. All right. Mr. Lark, I need you to make a check. Mechanical repair. So the moon becoming much, much bigger, much bigger, much bigger. And you are getting closer and closer. Cuts back to the moon, cuts back to you cutting. You can see the bead that you're making on this big piece of metal and iron. Dirt
I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3.
Ooh.
Is that a success?
I certainly hope so. Yeah, 47 or below.
My intelligence is 2.
All right. as you're going, you cut through the piece that you're cutting through. It remains connected to the ship, but it's detached. Okay.
All right.
So essentially the grappling hook is stuck into the hull of the ship, but you manage to cut a particular piece to kind of sever away what was attached and whatever was pulling you.
Okay. Good
Meanwhile,
enough.
the ship is still making its way towards the surface of the moon.
All right. I will give Tim's the signal to hit the thrusters and run for the bridge.
Tim, now, isn't this an interesting predicament? When we last left off with Tim's, Agda was asking about the other creature as Lark finally cuts through the thing that is attached to the ship.
Would you like me to roll another check and take the worst one?
Well, I would say you roll evens or odds on which direction you would go as your player character, if that's fair.
Okay.
So if it's odds or whatever, I'm all with Lark. He tells me to hit the thrusters. If you roll a certain way, then it's, hey, Agda, this is where the creature is.
Okay. I'll go with even. I'm paying attention when he tells me to hit the thrusters.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 3.
So
yeah, I mean, either way, as soon as I said it, I was heading for the bridge.
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough, Lark. Lark knows this is not going to go well and needs to take control himself.
I assume I'm going to have to steer at some point. I just wanted him to get us moving.
Yes, fair enough.
Dirt, you didn't trip him?
So Lark, as you're like,
patting my back.
Yeah.
so Lark, as you
We're doing the soldier move.
Yep.
As you state this, like, hey, Tim's thrusters, you don't feel them kick on, obviously.
I'm going to continue yelling at him as I'm running.
All right. Tim's, there's a green light around the blip on the cargo, near the cargo bay.
And also at this point, Lark is running towards the lift, and we're running down to meet Lark. So there's kind of a Scooby-Doo at some point intersection.
Yeah.
But there might be a monster in between that.
Somewhere in there.
Let's pull it.
And I'm going to kick the door one last time before I follow Lark.
Okay. You're trying to close that door to the cryo chamber? Okay.
Yeah, one last kick. And I go wide. That's a 40. I needed a 22.
Okay. Door still busted up. So what's happening is you're up on the 3rd floor, Agda and Buford, and you're going to take the lift down actually 2 levels, right? Because the bridge is in the middle. So you would take it down 2 levels and then, make your way to the cargo bay. At some point, Lark would be going to where you end up at the bottom level of the lift and wanting to get into that to go up. What would probably occur is you guys are pretty much in a hustle. It's, relatively the same distance. So we'll say that, Lark, you're monitoring the comms, right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You can hear all this. So you know that they're coming down towards the cargo bay, and that there's a creature that's Tim's relays is in that area. Same with you, Dirt. You know this. Dirt, are you going to stay there? Or are you going to...
No, I kicked the door as I'm following Lark.
Okay, so you go off with Lark.
Yep.
So it's kind of up to you. You could still make your way to the bridge, Lark and Dirt, as Agda and Buford take care of business in the cargo bay. It's certainly up to you. It's not where you're going to run into each other Scooby-Doo style. You kind of know where you guys are at. Timing wise, I don't anticipate you both entering the lift at the same time. But based on what you do, Lark,
I can't help them at all with that monster, so I'm going to keep going to the bridge.
Okay. Dirt, same thing, or?
I'd follow Lark to make sure he got to the bridge, and then if there was time, and I would go help Ogda and Buford.
Okay. So Lark and Dirt, you head up to the bridge. Ogda and Buford, you come down the lift on the first level of the ship, where you have been many a times. You get off the lift, and you take off to your left towards the cryo chamber, and the cargo hold actually comes up first, right? There's two entryways. You come into the kind of a northern entryway to the cargo hold, and then there's of course the one that borders the wall, right? So if you kind of see, here's the one, and then here's another. So it's just kind of like this spiel. It's not gonna. Oops. Wow, that's really awesome. Oh, God. Here's the most glaring white paper in the world. I swear this is not reflective.
I kind of saw it, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it once. Yeah.
It's not going to focus.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you use black paper and white pen? So anyways, depending on what entrance you want to get into the cargo hold, you let me know. The first one you come to, you guys have been through both. Jeff, I can't read that. Actually, on Zoom, it's probably better. Like I'm actually looking.
It's just a white piece of foam.
Twitch. Oh, you dink. Oh, there we go.
Every once in a while, there. Don't move. I got it.
Yeah, before everyone else talks, and then it switches away from the picture.
So the cryo chamber is right about
1 hour in suits.
right about here.
Okay, and the one at the top's near the lift?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Say I Love High School. Is that like a heart with an HS?
So Lark, Dirt, you make it up to the bridge. There's Tim's like looking at two different things at once, trying to focus.
What the shit, Tim's? Hit the button.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Lark loses it.
Can I hit it now?
Yeah, you can hit it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I hit it.
Tim's hits it. Thrusters turn on.
I shove him out of the way and try to pilot this thing.
Yeah. Good idea.
I'm sorry. There was a blip, and then I was following the blip, and I was listening for you, but then I was following the blip, and then there's heart rates and blood pressure all over the place.
You're telling me.
and your other patient behind you, if she's still there.
Yeah, she's still there.
I was gonna say
she's still there.
So.
Okay.
All right. So give me, Mr. Lark, you got piloting?
I do have piloting.
You do. Excellent. That would be the most applicable skill here.
Okay.
Do you have piloting? No, but I have archaeology.
D4 is a success.
Military training?
Oh. No. 34 success.
All right.
Nice.
You feel, everybody feels the shift tilt. This time it's not as sudden as the previous motions that the ship had that had occurred on the ship, and you feel it actually propel in a particular direction where you feel solid. Everything seems, instead of more floaty, feel more rooted to the plates, the floor plates, and you can hear a faint hum of engines come through the belly of the ship. Everything seems to not be in a free fall, and you notice that right away.
Okay.
Well done, Lark. Ogda and Buford.
Great. Now we're going to suffocate to death.
One problem at a time.
All right. Are we near where this thing should be?
You are.
Let's kill it.
All right.
Yeah.
Going to come through that, both of you through the same cargo hold door?
Yeah.
All right.
One high, one low.
Of course. All right. You open up the door.
And we each throw in a grenade, right?
Yep.
Grenades it is. Okay. How much points do these things do to ships?
It says can do.
Does it say
mega
one
damage.
hull point of damage?
1 mega damage to ship. Yeah.
1 mega damage. I wonder how much mega damage does a ship take?
Oh, tons and tons. I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. You're probably all right, Buford.
I mean, this isn't the government ship. It's not third lowest bidder.
Yeah, I think it takes a kill of damage.
You guys have, Jeff, you've run this. I trust you. All right. So you throw in the grenades. Give me some damage rolls, please, gentlemen.
Mine does 90.
50.
All right. You open the doors again. You hear screeching and then silence.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we follow up with the bullets.
Open the door.
Time for
Oh,
some
yeah.
seasoning.
All right.
We've roasted it.
You open the door. There doesn't seem to be any movement. Do you still unleash a bunch of bullets?
Do we see alien viscera decorating the
Yes.
cargo bay?
Yes.
Oh, we feel good
It
about
seems
this.
to originate from near the statue, actually, as if it was standing near the statue.
Is the statue still in one piece?
It is in one piece.
Ah, dang.
Does it look like it has
Strangely-
been moved back to where it originally was, or
It
is it still?
It is not. It has not moved back to where it originally was. But when you had moved it previously, remember you saw the black tentacles, kind of like, or what seemed like tentacles, or stretchy substance
Or
of some
glue,
kind.
goo,
Yeah,
slime, whatever,
gooey
yeah.
goo in blackness, leather blackness. All that is gone, but the statue is in the spot that it was moved to. Okay, so it's not in its original position. It is where you guys had left it, except there's no streak now.
Should we see if this thing is easier to move now?
We could just blow it up.
I mean, it's solid steel, but we can try.
Just leave some ship.
That's true. At this point, the amount of firepower needed to blow up this like solid steel statue is probably an amount we would need to blow a hole inside of the ship.
I'm reading from the handbook. It says there is no problem that cannot be solved by a proper amount of firepower.
Again, we had different military training.
Is that a ground-based manual or a?
Well, it says shoot first, ask questions later. That's right. Since this was an archaeological ship, are there big boxes of explosives in here?
Well, that's a trick question. Do you want there to be explosives in here? Because if you do, then we've got a different outcome.
But we might be rid of the statue. Yeah, no.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
James, do you see any other blips anywhere?
Nope.
Nope. We
All
are
right.
close.
We're coming back.
Okay.
All right. So
Unless you first. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
Should we just strap in instead?
Oh, strap in.
I assume this thing's going to be moving.
Lark, should we strap in or should we come up?
So you have sublight engines, like sublight engine power.
yeah,
You have no jump drive, Lark.
right.
Strapping in, I mean, I don't anticipate, unless you're going to flip this thing around and around and
No crazy maneuvering. I just want to get us in a stable orbit where we're not going to hit the moon or anything else. And then our next priority is going to have to be fixing some of the
Life support.
environmental systems, life support systems, because otherwise we're going to have to put it down somewhere anyway.
Yep. So you made your pilot check and you've stabilized the ship. You've got control over it. It's not a problem. Some of the systems are still pretty messed up, life support, things of that nature. Probably need some engineering help, which I think you guys went into engineering bay and weren't very successful in getting things online, but you've got engine power.
Yeah, our engineer feels very badly about it. He's been catatonic on the bridge ever since.
Oh, Mr. Lark, you are making sure that orbit does not cross over where we were before, so that they can shoot another harpoon at us.
Yeah. Evasive maneuvers so we don't get hit by another harpoon.
I think we're lucky to be moving away from the moon at this point.
I'll do my best.
So Ogda and Buford, were you going to do anything with the statue?
I mean, did you want to see if we can physically push it? And if we can, we can probably push it out of the ship.
Okay, we'll try.
Right.
I've still got my plus 30.
Can we
In
physically
terms
push
of
it?
the strap in thing, no.
Okay.
You should be fine to carry on with whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
And
Sean,
now
now
that you
that
said
now that
that-
it doesn't have the tentacle glue, are we able to push it?
So you go up and get your hands and you're like, "Ugh," and you try to push the statue. Buford, you do the same? Try to help him? Okay.
12 out of 61.
All right. We're going to find out what happens to Buford and Ogda on the next episode of Mothership, Dead Planet.
Probably something good.
Yeah, they're going to just shove it right out of the cargo hold. No
Yeah, no problem. Nothing
Spoiler
will
alert.
We're going to find out it's an easy bake oven.
Can we throw it at the moon? They deserve it.
That's right. Can we throw the object out of the moon with enough force that pushes us up into a higher orbit?
But maybe the people with the harpoon were trying to save us.
Nah.
Yeah.
Think about you, Dirt. You always see the best in people.
I think the Exo needs some more comforting there, Dirt.
So
Or, I mean, we don't know this ship. Maybe this ship actually harpooned the moon and was pulling the moon closer.
Yeah.
I
Oh, well, no. There's a big hole.
so in order to harpoon the moon, shot ourselves and then through the other side of it.
Shh, let me-
Before we start
We had
popping up-
disappearing androids. Maybe we just had appearing anchors. That's
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Check my bag.
Hey, Mr. Warden, might I ask something?
Yeah, sure.
Have we gained any XP?
That is a good question. I should probably award you some XP, right? Let me actually. I have not. Bear with me. Let's now XP. Experience points. How do you gain it? Let's see. Surviving a session is worth 10. Ah,
10, 20, 30,
Dirt.
40.
You're killing me, Dirt.
Yeah, how many sessions have we had?
I mean,
Or
session. But
3.
Why are you saying sessions?
3 sessions?
So is that 30 XP?
I'll give you 30 XP.
That sounds like a wonderful thing.
I'll give you 30
Thank you,
XP.
Mr. Warden.
Yeah. And your level 2, you'll reach level 2 after 2 more sessions. Wait, if you survive the first night, you'll immediately level up. And you'll reach level 2 after 2 more sessions.
So we have 30, you said?
Surviving a session is worth 10.
Oh, so we have 40.
If you survive the first night. That's not per session.
yeah, I interpreted it more as
You get 10 for the first one, right? If you survive the first night.
Well, but then it says if you survive the next 2, you're second level. So
I mean,
you-
I was also kind of thinking of it in D&D terms, got to a place of safety relatively. I don't know. But you're the warden.
And there's additional XP awarded by accomplishing goals. Triggers for XP rewards may vary considerably, saving another crew member's life. I don't think you guys saved anybody.
I did it. I saved Lark's life from stress.
Dangerous levels of stress.
Kill a creature.
Yeah.
Out of
2 of
net.
them.
It says with
So
a
far.
70 plus instinct.
3, actually.
I wonder if does it have a let me see to find out. I think it might. It does not. Map an unknown sector of space, unlock a great mystery, interface with strange beings far beyond, be first to set foot on an exoplanet, collect a generic sample from Zetalons on Exodus, whatever. Marines gain 1 XP whenever they kill an enemy. You should know that. Scientists gain 1 XP whenever they bring a piece of alien technology or living organism aboard their ship for study.
Can't get
And-
back to our ship.
You're banking it, man. It's like a bank system for you. Androids gain 1 XP whenever you interface with a piece of alien technology or with a higher intelligence. Dirt.
Hey, that big statue.
Have you interfaced with it?
I said hello.
I think he touched it too.
Yeah.
Say hello
He
back.
was, he was checking. He saw the flutter eyes.
Teamsters gain 1 XP whenever they first step foot on an undiscovered planet. So, Lark, you
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of screwed yourself on that one.
You screwed yourself out of XP by not letting us crash on that.
Although in fairness, this is the moon, not a planet.
Oh, snap.
I think we've already discovered it, though. I mean, like,
I don't know.
Anyway.
No one's named it yet. Whoever gets it first in the book.
I
There's
mean,
no
at least
there's
it's
no
covered up.
flag. Yeah.
If you survive your first session, you'll level up and become a first level character. So you guys should have started at 0 level, right?
Nice.
And then
we
after
get
that-
level up?
After that, use the table below to see how much XP you need to level up. So I'll let you guys be level 2.
Ooh.
All right.
All right. So you leveled up twice.
That sounds wonderful.
All right.
Cool.
I'm into it.
I can do that.
okay. And
Gives me something to do the next 2 weeks.
Do you guys know what you can do when you level up?
I
No,
can
we
use
in
my
a safe
theology
enough situation?
Learn how to pilot.
You can. So
All of us take piloting.
here's what you can level up whenever you are in a place safe enough to rest. Wah, wah.
yeah.
Oh, does that mean we're not leveling up to 2?
That's fine. That's fine. I don't want to go backwards. So you guys can level up. That's fine. Da, 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 da. Interesting. It says even if a place would incur disadvantage when resting for healing or recovering from stress purposes, that's safe enough to level up in.
So the bridge. Yeah.
Number 1, you pick one major improvement. So you could improve one stat by 5 and another by 3 with a max 85. Or you can improve 2 saves by 4 each, max 85. And then you would pick one minor improvement, which would be gain 1 in resolve, which would be to a max of 5, or remove 1 phobia or addiction.
Mine's still a hobby.
And then the last minor improvement would be heal all stress.
All right. And we're leveling up twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you heal all that stress, that's fine, I guess, but I'll just have to put the heat on you even more.
What does resolve actually do?
Yeah, you subtract it from the panic roll.
Oh,
So the more resolve you have, the less likely you are to just keel over dead or start going on a murderous rampage.
Yeah, and the results
Okay.
of the panic roll, yeah. The last part would be gain 2 skill points.
okay.
So as a reminder, trained skills cost 1, expert skills cost 2, and master skills cost 3, and you have to have the prerequisite in order.
Cool. So we got 4 skill points.
Correct. You can bank skill points for the future,
To me
but
live.
just so you know. And that's leveling up. That's it.
So I am trying to take stuff that is all thematic for what we have been doing. So it's not like out of the blue I picked
Sure.
up something. So what I was thinking of was improving my intellect and combat because I have shot at people
Sure.
with a trank gun.
And I'm making some heavy machinery.
And I was going to take a point in computers because I'm a scientist and I've been playing with the systems on here. And it's just the base level computers.
Mm.
Yeah, I would expect that you've used computers, but maybe
Yeah.
something's just finally clicked for you.
Yeah, it's like I'm remembering some of the classes I took because I actually have to
Right,
use
you're like,
those.
oh, yes, buttons. Got it.
And I
Yeah.
already had pathology, so I was going to take surgery because I mean that's kind of my specialty that I've been moving towards anyway. So if you
Yeah.
cut into dead people, I'm getting better at cutting into live people.
Yeah, I was probably going to bump intellect and strength a little bit, and then sanity and fear saves, because I'm able to handle my shit at this point.
Yeah, Larks.
And then for skills, I'm not sure yet. Probably jury rigging, maybe first aid. I don't know.
So next time when we meet in 2 weeks on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time, everybody, we're going to find out what happens with the crew of the Alexis,
I don't know.
right?
Yeah.
The profit margin? I don't know.
Well, I don't
Guess
know.
this is our ship now.
I
That's the
have
name of
enough
the pirate ship.
I have enough skill points to take command that we could just make this our ship.
Maybe we can become pirates.
I don't condone any type of piracy.
Neither do
Yeah.
I.
But nonetheless,
We'll be smugglers.
Privateering.
they are in a system with a strange statue. What is that statue about as Agda and Buford lay their hands upon it? They do have thrusters now. Now, how much life support is left? There's the moon and a planet below. So what will become of the crew originally from the profit margin? But what even happened to the profit margin?
Haven't heard from Kowalski in a while.
Stay tuned next week to find, or next 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tonight to find out.
Awesome.
Stay tuned next week, and Sean's going to be on here by himself and tell us what happened.
No, just be the engineer. He wakes up and
So this is what happens when you wake up.
All right. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, on Twitch. We appreciate it. Check out Jeff's events that he mentioned earlier on the show. Jeff, you want to pimp those quick?
Yeah, sure. So not this weekend, but the following weekend, Goodman Games is doing DCC days, and they'll be streaming a bunch of stuff at twitch.tv/Goodman Games Official. And I will be on 2 of those things on Saturday at 11 a.m. EST, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. Spellburn will be doing a live show. And then that Sunday at 1:30 p.m. EST, the Appendix N Book Club will be doing a live show.
Awesome.
Anybody else got anything going on? Jared, you doing anything special the next week or 2?
Not specifically, other than just read Gnomes too.
There you go. That's cool. All right. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Great.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, for showing up again. It's always fun playing with you guys. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you for running,
Yeah.
Sean.
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. A lot of fun.